Hello, dear educators. Welcome to another exciting class with Virtuous Scholars Academy. Today, we're going to be looking at how to create quizzes for assessments. As teachers, assessment is very important because that is how we educators get to know how our students are faring based on what they've been taught, if they actually understood what they were taught by us in their class, or rather their virtual classroom. All right, before we begin, first of all, I'll suggest, if you don't have a Chrome browser, you download it on your phone. Now, when you have a Chrome browser, of course, Chrome cannot work without your Gmail account. Of course, you can see I'm already signed in over here. That's why I have my image here. So you go to www.google.com and this will appear on your screen like so. So next you have to type on this 9 dotted icon over here to view the Google applications we have. So you can see we have lots of applications. We have YouTube, Google Play, we have Google Meet. You keep scrolling down, you have Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, and so on. So I would like to point out that the Google Classroom app you have on your phone, okay, does not have assignments for quizzes on the application. So in order for you to access this, you need to go through your browser. So I'm going to tap on Classroom here, that's Google Classroom, and it's going to take me directly to my classroom. So I'll tap on a class I want. Remember, we created a class, so I'm going to tap on a class. Okay, this is my class. So I'll go to the classwork tab. Remember what we did earlier. Then I'll tap on create. Then over create, I'll see different options here. So we have assignments, which is on the app we have on our phone. We have quiz assignment. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. This quiz assignment is not on the app we have. So that is why we had to go through the browser to get to it. So you can also create Google quizzes, Google Forms, or rather Google quizzes through your Google Drive. But this is easier for me. You know why I love this? Because immediately I create this, it automatically saves in my Google Classroom. I do not need to go back to my Drive and start getting the link and send it to the classroom. So as usual, we are all used to these options by now: assignment, question, material, reviews, post, and topic. So we'll tap on quiz assignment. So when you tap on quiz assignment, okay, you have the option of assigning your quiz or your assessment to all students or not. So I'm going to leave that. The title could be okay, let me say mathematics. Okay, assuming that's a name, mathematics CAT, that's mathematics continuous assessment. I'm trying to assess my students on what they've been taught on mathematics. Instruction, I can say attempt all questions. Attempt all questions. Then I'll scroll down. So we have points. My points, gonna make it 60 points. Due date, of course, whenever you want your students to turn this assignment. Due date, or rather test. Okay, so due date, I can say 23rd. Then topic, if you've created a topic where you remember the topics you created, test, assignment, and all that. So if you check here, you can create a new topic or add a topic. So you put in your topic. If I want to create a topic, I can just tap on it and say CA, continuous assessment test, CAT. Then I'll go down. So this area here where we have blank quiz, this is our Google Forms, which are going to convert into a quiz. Okay, so I'll tap on it, blank quiz. It will go separately to another slide. So this is what we have here. So this is your Google form. Okay, with this Google form, normally people use Google Forms to do surveys, but trust me, with Google Forms you can actually send in assessments. Google will mark it for you, okay, or you can mark manually as a teacher. So I'm going to use this. All these are editable. I can name it mathematics CAT, same I did earlier, CAT. Then form description, I've already written a description in the previous one, so no need. I'll come over here, my title, of course I'll put the name here, so the students need to put in their name. If you don't do this, you won't know who submitted, which student submitted any answer, so you need to be very certain of what you're doing. So I'll just tap on short answer. Look at what I did. I came over here, okay, this area here. So this area, if you tap on it, you have options of making your students answer. Do you want them to answer in a sentence? That's when you use short answer. Paragraph is for them to answer, probably when you give them an essay or something and you want them to reply their response. You can assign it using paragraph. Multiple choice is if you have objective questions like A, B, C, and so. Check boxes when you want your students to pick maybe 2 or 3 out of the options that are correct, and so on. File upload, you can upload an image, you can upload anything you want to attach to your assessment. Linear scale, multiple choice grid, and the rest are for mathematicians, those that are really deep into mathematics. So if we come over here, this plus icon means to add a new section to this quiz you have. Then here is to create a title. Here is to add an image. Here is to add a video. Okay, so let's do this. So I'll tap on the plus icon. Sorry. Have to go back. I'm going to have to delete this because I don't want it disorganized. So I'll tap on the plus icon. Okay, plus icon. Okay, so I'm going to tap my first question. Maybe question 1 is 1 plus 1 equal to. So I want this to be a multi-choice question, so I'm going to leave it as that. I'm not changing it. I can come here and say option 1 3, option 2 5, option 3 could be 2. So this is what I love about Google Forms. Now I'm going to input the answer in Google Forms so that Google can help me mark. I don't want to mark it myself. So you can see that checkbox. If I tap on the checkbox, okay, I'll be required by Google to put in the points. So how many points does this question go for? I can say this question goes for 30 points. Then I'll tap my correct answer for Google to know, and I'll tap on done. Immediately I tap on done, I'm going to tap on this icon here, required, which means that students must answer all their questions before turning in their assignment or submitting. I'll tap on the name I created earlier on and tap on required as well, because I want every option or every part to be attempted. Okay, so I'll go tap on the plus icon again to add another question. So question 2 can be 50 minus 10. Okay, I'll tap here again and say probably 111. Next option 49. Okay, and last option 40. So I'll do the same. I'll tap on that checkbox I said earlier, input my answer. My point should be 30 points, and tell Google the answer. The answer is 40, and I tap on done, and I tap on required. Now this is a simple way of creating an assessment. Now these Google Forms can be decorated. If I want to decorate my Google Forms now, I tap on this canvas icon here. Okay, if I tap on it, I have a choice of changing the color. I have a choice of putting an image as the header. We have different templates here. I can pick on this and put insert. okay, and you have the choice of changing your font style. Maybe you want a basic form. I normally leave it at basic so that students won't get confused with the write-ups. Then I tap on apply. Apply is over here. So when I tap on apply, see what happens. You can see my Google Forms looking beautiful. Okay, you can see the colors, everything has changed. Now the next icon we have is here. This is called the preview icon. It simply lets you know how your form, sorry, this is your send icon. Okay, it simply lets you get the options of how you're going to send this. So if I tap on the send icon, I can send this Google Forms via emails. If I have emails of my students, I'll automatically send it to them. Okay, then over here we have add collaborators. A collaborator can be a co-teacher. You want, especially with those of us that handle a lot of students in class, and you might not be able to access everything one-on-one, especially when you're doing manual marking on Google Forms. So you might need to add a collaborator. By adding a collaborator, you need to add the email account of the teacher. You can see if I tap on it, this is loading. Okay, so you can add anyone you want to add over here, but I don't want to add. So collaborator is someone that can edit your Google Forms just the way you created it. The person can also have access in editing it. So that is one thing about collaboration. Then if I tap on the paperclip icon, you can see I have an option of getting a link. So I can copy this link and send it to my parents on WhatsApp or any form, or even impute it in the Google Classroom if I want, or anywhere, and my students will just tap on the link and go straight to their assessment. I always like shortening my link over here. I always shorten my URL so that it will be short and smart, because I feel this link Google provided for me is a little bit too long and I don't like long links. So if I shorten it, you can see it's giving me a short link. So what you do, if you want to copy this link, you just tap on copy and it saves automatically on your clipboard. Now I must point out that Google Drive, anything you create using Google applications automatically saves in your Google Drive, so you don't need to worry about anything. Then if I tap on this next one, this HTML, I don't really use that. So this is just simply how to save your form. Now if you want to go for, let us go further, this three dotted icon over here. So we'll tap on it. If you tap on it, you have a choice of previewing what you've created. So if I tap on preview, you can see. So this is how my form or my assessment is going to appear to those that have gotten my link. Immediately my student tap on the link, automatically this happens. Okay, so let me do a test run on this. Let me write my name. Let's assume I'm a student. Okay, test run. Then 1 + 1, let's say I don't know the answer, I tap 3, and then 11 plus 50 minus 10, let's say is 40. I know the answer, and I tap submit. See what happens. Because I allowed Google to, I imputed all the answers for Google, the student has the option of viewing his or her score. So if you tap on view score, you can see Google automatically scored me, and it gave me what's my point. See my point over here. Google gave me 30/60. So you can see the amazing facts about Google. Okay, so I'm going to go back. All right, so let's go back to that three dotted icon again. So we've seen how the preview works. So settings, I love settings so much. Settings, you can set it the way you want. So let's go through it one at a time. So over here we have collect emails. If you want Google to collect emails of people that would answer this quiz, fine, you can access and you can tap on you can tap on it. Okay, you tick it. So Google, your students, before they submit, Google will request for their emails. I usually use this when I want to manually mark my students' assessment, so that immediately I'm done marking, since Google has collected their emails before they started the examination or the test, when I'm done marking, I would send it to them back through that email that they put. So it's very good. So students can get their exam just the way you share your exam scripts in your physical classroom. So this one will be shared automatically to their emails immediately the teacher has marked, right? So cool, right? All right, so let's go down. We have limit to 1 response. That means once people are signed in, they only use that email to write. So your students cannot write more than once. Only once that student must write that test. So I usually use this if when necessary. Then respondents can edit after submitting. I don't allow that. Once you've submitted, you cannot edit. The one below is see summary chart and test responses. If you want to view your students' responses in a chart, probably like a graph or something, you can tap that. Then I move straight to the presentation tab. Presentation tab simply says show progress bar. Yes, maybe when you want to log in and see the responses of your students, it will show you in form of progress bar. But usually I always tap on show link to submit, because I usually use that link a lot, especially those parents that will tell you, oh, I'm so busy, I can't log into the Google Classroom, can you quickly send me the link? I easily send it to them, and it doesn't deprive my students from doing their tests at the given time. So this confirmation message is what is seen when your students submit their response. So I can tap thank you. Okay, thanks for taking this test. Okay, then I'll move back. We have quizzes. So this is quiz. This settings in requires you. This is for those that want to use Google Forms as quiz. If you don't want Google Form as quiz, that means you just want to use it as a survey. The quiz, the only difference is that the Google Forms, when you convert it to quiz, it can mark. It becomes like a real assessment. But if that quiz is off, it just becomes like an answer question, whatever, for you to just carry out survey and find feedbacks on people or make people register for a particular program or all that. Okay. So that is just difference. When you convert your form to quiz, you can use it to mark and all that. So that you can see is already tapped on. That means it's already a quiz. So let's go down to the quiz options. We have release mark immediately after each submission. That means when your students have submitted, Google automatically give their marks. You can see when I answered as a student, I saw my score immediately. But if you don't want that, you can tap on what later after manual review. I usually use this when I'm giving my students theoretical questions that do not have options, so that I can mark it at my own time, because you can't really input all the answers for Google, because you don't really know how you can't really every student has his or her own capabilities of doing things. They might have different answers, but it doesn't mean they are all wrong. Everyone has a way of doing his or her thing. So I just mark manually to just be on the safe side. Then we have options of missed questions. Yes, I always leave this ticked. Correct answers ticked, point values ticked. That means when my students are doing their assessment, they'll be able to see questions that they've missed out. They'll be able to see correct answers immediately they submit, and point values. But I don't really tap on correct answers when I know I'm going to mark manually. Okay, so when you're done with all the settings, you just tap on save, and that happens. So you can see over here, because I have attempted the test already, I already have a response. So if I tap over on response, you can see Google gave me an insight of the person that submitted. So you can see you can see this. So if you want to see more, you can scroll down. This is a summary. Okay, the first tab is a summary. So hold on, let me get my pen and show you what I'm talking about. This is just a summary. Here, questions, if you want to see the questions based on how the students answer it. But I usually use individual, so that I'll see individual scripts of my students. If I tap on individual, you can see it just brought everything for me. So you can see the person's name, test run. You can see the person failed one. So me as a teacher, I'll just record it on my record book that this child got 30/60 in his or her assessment. So that's literally it. This is how to create quizzes using Google Forms to assess your students, to know how they are performing, or to know to know where the problem. Most times assessments are done for you to know how your students are performing, if they're actually getting what you're teaching them. All right, so if you have further questions, you can ask me.